We're going to Texas right now, where last night in Nashville, Leon Draisaitl scored a Texas hat trick. Gene Principe joins us from Rogers Sportsnet. Gene, thanks for hanging in with us. How much fun was the game in Nashville last night, that 8-3 Oilers win?
Well, it was incredible, honestly, for someone who grew up in Edmonton and watched those 80s teams. I know I have 80s hair, but I wasn't expecting the game to look like the 1980s, but it sure felt like it in the third. It was like they just kept scoring. And the funny thing is, a couple of players said, we probably could have had a couple more, just to let you know how amazing that third period was for Leon Draisaitl, Connor McDavid, and the Edmonton Oilers.
Carrying it over into Dallas, by the way, I got to ask you this. How much talk is what's going on in Nashville? Obviously, you left right after the game, but we were trying to get Stu Grimson on this morning, Terry Crispin. They couldn't because of emergency status in the city of Nashville, state of Tennessee. How much talk is going around the rink of that this morning?
Well, a lot. Most of us, I had watched some of the local news prior to departure or prior to going to the rink, and they were talking about these possible tornadoes. When we left, it was like just a light rain, but our takeoff was pretty bumpy. And then, if you've ever been on a flight at night and there's lightning in the area, you can't miss it. And out of the windows, you could definitely see the lightning. We didn't know that it had turned into a tornado, and probably even when we landed, we didn't really know. But I think when most of us were waking up today, friends, family, text, people on Twitter, and you start seeing photos. Incredible. Last I heard, 9 people had passed, and we got out of there about 11 o'clock local time, and I think the tornado hit about an hour or two after that, or maybe the majority or the strength of it hit at that point. So, when you're in that central time zone, it's Dallas, St. Louis, sometimes it's more in the kind of the summer months because of extreme humidity, and the combination ends up with lots of thunder and lightning storms, but not so much tornadoes. But unfortunately, last night, that's what happened.
For sure, and it's obviously caught everybody off guard. Thoughts and prayers with the people of Nashville. And again, Crispy said that he was going to be at the rink all day helping out with emergency efforts, and they weren't doing interviews. Tough to just go back off that for just 1 second, but we were watching the game, Gene, and Kelly Rempel was here too as well, our co-host, with the Brett Kissel thing. When did you know that Brett Kissel was going to be in the arena? I mean, that completely caught us viewers off guard. You had a lot of fun there. Can you talk about how that got set up last night?
Yeah. Our producer, Scott Carruthers, actually we're all big Brett Kissel fans, but Scott has kind of developed a more, personal friendship and relationship. We see Brett, twice or 3 times a year, usually once in Edmonton, once in Nashville. And, so we thought, let's have a little bit of fun with him, and his album and his singles kind of tied into what was going on with the team and the game, and then we just kind of kept it going. It was like Brett Kissel night. We had him on in the intermission, and we had him on during the broadcast with Kevin Quinn and Louis DeBrusque. I mean, he kind of checks off the 2 boxes: entertainer, 3 entertainer from Alberta, and a big Oilers fan. So we even got him to do a little analyzing of, can't remember which Leon Draisaitl goal. No, it was the Yamamoto goal. Actually, someone other than Leon scored. It was the Yamamoto goal, Kyler's goal. So, it was kind of a fun night. It was, I guess, our version of Snoop Dogg that they do in L.A. So, it was kind of different. And, it was good that we got it completed prior to the third period, because that's when everything kind of got a little bit crazy. So that might have been unfair to Brett, but I'm sure he would have enjoyed it. But Oilers fans kind of got lots of entertainment from different angles and different viewpoints last night.
Gene, you must be almost getting to the point now where it's hard to kind of outdo yourself. Like you're doing such a good job with these vignettes and the creative, fun stuff. People are now starting to tune in to see what crazy, skit they're going to see next, or where you're going to take some of these intros and that. 2 questions. One, are you starting to feel a little pressure to come up with like the brilliant stuff because people expect it now? And my second part of my question, Gene, is how much time do you spend on these ideas? Like, this is some great stuff.
Yeah, it varies. Some are like incredibly natural. There's either something's going on in the rink, or you can tie it into something the coach said, or something that the team and the players are doing. Others are a little more challenging, but for sure there's pressure. I mean, listen, I'm not saying pressure, put food on the table pressure. This is light-hearted pressure, and but people, good, bad, or indifferent, they want to see what's going on, whether to applaud it, to criticize it, to say it was okay, to say it was terrible, or somewhere in between. So, I thank my boss at Sportsnet for letting me be creative, for lack of a better term, and let me sort of run loose. Now, times have changed, so you got to be careful. I know there are things I probably have done in the last couple of years that maybe in this day and age, the modern day, as in today, yesterday, last week, just wouldn't kind of sit right. So you got to be really careful. Then you just don't. Sometimes all you have to do is alienate one person, and it might be the wrong person, or one person can say or do something on social media. And that's not my intention. I'm not. I've always been about making friends, not enemies. But sometimes it's not how you do something, but it's how it ends up being perceived. So, but I've always enjoyed it, and if I didn't have a chance to do it, it would be disappointing for me. So thankfully, heading into tonight in Dallas, as the Stars are on the ice right now, I've got an opportunity to do one again.
Last one for you, Gene, because you're busy, is obviously a huge game tonight. We're all going to be watching two very good teams. Are you going to have a 10-gallon hat ready to roll? What can we expect tonight? And your thoughts on the game itself, please.
Yeah, I'm working on that. We got in last night around 1 and got up today, and now I'm at the rink. And so sometimes today is one of those days, the Rod and Kelly, where I'll kind of listen into both teams' morning comments and then see if I can play off of that, or whether it just be a straight takeoff of last night, or maybe an injured player like James Neal comes back. So we'll sort of see what we come up with, or what I can come up with here heading into tonight. As for tonight, I mean, listen, when the Oilers lost last Wednesday, I think it was to Vegas on the second half of a back-to-back, and looked like, well, there goes first, and you're feeling down and out. And here, less than a week later, they got a chance to catch, Vegas, even up in games, even up in points. They still have Vegas 2 more times, but maybe just as importantly, give themselves a little more breathing room from the teams not only in their own division, but those, in the wild card chase, Nashville being a perfect example of that. So lots on the line every game, and it's, we hear, you guys have heard pro athletes say, don't let the highs get too high or the lows get too low, and you have to be like that right now, because otherwise you'll just be too excited about wins and too disappointed about losses. So far the Oilers are finding a nice middle ground.
Well, I'll tell you what, can't wait for the game. Going to be exciting. Gene, keep it up. Big fans here, my man. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate it, guys, and vice versa. Take care, boys.
You're watching Rod Pedersen On Demand. For more of The Rod Pedersen Show, visit rodpedersen.com or follow Rod Pedersen on social media.